What is a parachute and how does it work? And exploring the reasons why there are no parachutes in airplanes. What is a parachute? A parachute is a device used to slow the descent of a person or object from a high altitude. It works by using air resistance to create drag, which slows down the descent and eventually brings it to a stop. Parachutes have been used since the early 1800s, and have been instrumental in saving lives during military operations, skydiving, and other dangerous activities. Why are there no parachutes in airplanes? The lack of parachutes in airplanes is an issue that has been a topic of debate for decades and puzzled many people, especially those who are afraid of flying. The truth is, there are a few good reasons why parachutes are not included in airplanes. Firstly, due to their size and weight, it would be impractical to include them in all aircrafts. Secondly, the chances of survival for passengers if they were to use a parachute during an emergency situation is relatively low. Finally, the risk of injury or death from using a parachute during an emergency landing is too high for airlines to take on. As such, airlines have decided that it's best not to include parachutes in their planes. How effective are parachutes? Parachutes have been used in aviation since the early 18th century, and they have played a significant role in saving the lives of pilots and passengers alike. However, despite their importance, parachutes are rarely used today. We have a huge history of parachutes in aviation but they are not as popular today as they once were. Why modern aircraft no longer rely on them for safety? Reason is benefits of other aircraft safety measures are far safer than parachutes. Aircraft safety measures have come a long way since the invention of the parachute. While parachutes are still an essential part of aircraft safety, they are no longer the only option. Other aircraft safety measures such as automatic deployment systems, airbags, and emergency oxygen systems have been shown to be more effective in preventing injury and death in the event of an emergency. In overall, here are the top reasons behind the lack of parachutes in airplanes. Cost. Installing and maintaining parachutes can be expensive, and not all aircraft manufacturers or operators may see it as cost-effective. Design. Some aircraft, such as commercial airliners, are not designed to allow for emergency ejection or the deployment of parachutes. These aircraft may have multiple engines and other systems that make it impossible to install ejection seats or parachutes. Safety. In some cases, the use of a parachute may not actually increase the overall safety of an aircraft. For example, deploying a parachute in a commercial airliner at high altitude could cause the aircraft to break apart, endangering the passengers even more. Sounds dangerous, isn't it? False sense of security. The presence of a parachute may give passengers a false sense of security, encouraging them to engage in risky behavior such as not wearing a seatbelt or not following emergency procedures. It should be noted that the most important factor in aviation safety is the maintenance of the aircraft and the training of the crew, rather than the presence or absence of a parachute. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe for more interesting content.